So is my voice can be here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's start it. My name is Ning Shinny Widjaja. I'm from Kasetsart University of Thailand, and I'm originally from Indonesia. So today I will present, and my title of the presentation will be Enhancing Profitability in Shrimp Farming, the impact of yeast-Astaxanthin, source astaxanthin as a feed additive on the yield and gross profitability in Bangka Island of Indonesia. So before we start, we have to know, hold on, I cannot move, so just a moment. Okay, so this is the second slide. About the global production of alpha-nome. Alpha-nome is the species of cultured shrimp in all over the world. So here you can see this is the CAGR for the last 10 years from 2010, not the last 10 years, from 2010 to 2021. This is from Asian shrimp producing country like China, India, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Thailand. If you see the CAGR is 4.6%, which is not impressive at all. And they also do, the Robobank also do the forecast for the CAGR for the next 3 years, also not very impressive. Comparing with the Ecuador is like officially already announced the CAGR from 2012 to 2019, around about 17%. Then recently, the Ecuador is also already announced that from 2012 to 2023, the CAGR from this country is 25%. So comparing with Ecuador, Asian shrimp producing countries are not in the good condition. Everybody here, including the mighty China as well. So there are two factors actually that really influencing the CAGR. Of course, is the demand and supply. So if you are mentioning about supply, everybody knows that we are facing on a lot of disease outbreak here in Asia. And let's see on what is going on with the market. So if we see here, China and USA, they are two big countries, two big shrimp importing countries. Almost 80% of the global shrimp market goes to China and USA. So if we see here, China year over year, Q1, Q2, Q3 are in negative figures, resulting in -7% for year over year in 2024, and USA in -3 in year over year in 2024, meaning the cake is becoming so small, much smaller, while all the people that really love the cakes is getting more and more. So the objective of my research here is assessing the effectiveness of yeast-Astaxanthin as a feed additive in shrimp culture by analyzing farming condition, showcasing its benefit with data, and confirming that the cost of the feed additive itself is minimal compared to improvement in the yield and the product quality. So this is the place where the research been conducted. This is the PT Budi Agri Sentosa, that's the farm's name, and the operating of the farming cultivation from PT Delos Aquaculture in Indonesia. And we dedicated 14 ponds in this commercial farm. So everything is by what the real farmer doing. 14 ponds with the around about 3 to 4 hectares. From the 14 ponds, we divided into 3 treatments, 8 ponds for the treatment 1, and another 3 and 3 for treatment 2 and 3. So basically, we are using the same genetic from the post larvae, the baby shrimp. So the same genetic, which is we call it the balance. So the genetic from the balance strain. These baby shrimp is also come from the same hatchery. And also we are using the same commercial feed from the same batch. And also the restocking of the density also the same. Everything is the same. The difference is only in the control. From the first 8 ponds, we are not using any feed additive in it. And for the treatment 2, we are using the astaxanthin from bacterial source. And the treatment 3 is the astaxanthin from the yeast source. And all the feed additive is mixed in the factory to minimizing the human error during the top up in the farm. Also preventing the leaching happen during the cultivation. So because we are dealing with the plankton, and most of in Asian country, what to say, basically in Southeast Asia, where we have 365 days of sunlight. So the plankton shrimp farming system is the most, not easy, but it's the most common applied by the farmers here. So the first, we need to analyze the plankton composition to really understand the impact of astaxanthin. So for the plankton analysis itself, we are taking three major components. The first one is the plankton that we are taking recorded by the date, the same date, the same data. And the second one is by day of culture. So we are taking 2 types of recording or calculating the plankton. One is the similar date, and number 2 is the similar day of culture. And then the third one for the data analysis is just we want to know what is the correlation between the plankton composition to the ADG. ADG is the average daily growth. So average daily growth is one of the important parameter for the shrimp farmer here to really understand whether the animals that we culture is doing well or not doing well. And of course, we will be able to know whether we are going to make money or lose money. So let's move. This is the first phytoplankton average per group and per pond. Here is there is a green algae, blue-green algae, dinoflagellate, zooplankton, euglena, and the other plankton. If you see here on the right-hand side here, the graph on the right-hand side is for each 14 ponds, while on the left side is already divided into 3 treatments. You can see that from the 3 treatments have the same composition of the plankton. So there is no different, everything is the same. But this is recorded by the day. So let's see what is the plankton when it's recorded by the day of culture. Still the same. Very small difference, but it doesn't make a huge difference in the analysis. Then we want to know what is the correlation between the plankton to the ADG itself, the annual daily, the average daily growth. So we are doing by the AAC system to minimize the error. We see here that actually the dominant plankton, the green plankton, is got nothing to do, negative correlation with the growth of the animal. So we can say that the plankton itself in this research has nothing to do with the growth. So we starting looking at the analysis. Actually, the plant culture duration is around about 115 and to 120 days with 6 partial harvests and 1 final harvest. Actually, the reason why we do plan this because we really want to have to get the maximized shrimp production, effective resource, and also managing the cost. If you see here, from the T1 is D7, D8, D10, D12. It's only 4 left. We used to be having 8 ponds, but now it's only 4. It means like only 50%. While the E1, E3, E2, which is T2, is only remain 2. And then for the T3, the only treatment that can last for 3 ponds. So this one is one of the decision making for the farmer, the commercial farmer, to look at whether which one of the treatment that can be applied and making money and easier to be managed. So if you see here on the right, the last column is converted biomass, because all the ponds are not at the same size of the pond. So I converted into 2000 to get the fair value. So let's move. Here also in the real shrimp farming, we always facing with the second quality harvest shrimp, which is not good. Even the small portion, it makes our farming company brand is becoming not good. And then it is also for the positioning of the bargaining power is also in the bad situation if we are having a lot of second quality harvest. But in this research, we see on the last bar in the converted one, we can see that the T1, the first bar, the bottom bar is much higher than second and the third. So we can see that the plankton system, the control system is giving a lot of trouble for the shrimp farmer. So let's move. Yes, this is my first time doing the presentation in the academic field. Yeah, that's the reason I'm trying to see whether this data is valid, is good enough. That's because we know that the harvest decision, a lot of the factors that affecting the harvest decision is also we are culturing the shrimp in the open air, a lot of uncontrollable parameters, and we are also culturing the shrimp is in the outskirt area, and also the human error is always happening. And that's the reason next step we are doing the interpolated data where we are choosing day of culture 1 until 84, where all the 14 ponds are in the good condition, is the same condition. And we are trying to predict what happened in the next 120. So this is the result. It can tell the 14 ponds is there, and we make the prediction again. From the prediction is clearly seen. If you see from the highlighted row, that one is the treatment number 2, the average yeast astaxanthin, that doing much better compared to treatment 1 and treatment 3. This is the graph to make it easier. It's only the total control of the pond. Again, because this is the academic, so we need to see whether this is already okay or not okay. So we are trying to look at the standard deviation. From the standard deviation standpoint, we can see for the yield performance, for the annual daily growth, again, treatment number 3 is having the smallest standard deviation. The same thing with the mean body weight. Mean body weight is the size of the animals. And then after that, we convert biomass into 2000 into the same pond size. Again, treatment number 3 is much better. The same thing with the yield of standard deviation for the yield performance. Yield performance means that the availability or how much shrimp produced in 1 hectare. So again, treatment 3, which is the yeast-sourced astaxanthin, is much better compared with treatment 1 and treatment 2. So we come with the conclusion that yeast-derived astaxanthin is better, giving the significant positive impact on the total biomass, 2.7 to 9.5%, maybe for other industry, 2.7 and to 9 0.15% is seems so small, but in the shrimp industry is huge for us. Is like the cutting costs for us and making the possible of generating more money. And then the second conclusion that the percentage of the second quality, when the farm producing so small second quality of shrimp, they brand, the company brand is becoming increasing, and the bargaining power towards the processing is much higher. So we can ask for, we can bargaining more, we can get more money, the possibility of get more money than the rest of the farmer. And then the third conclusion is the yeast astaxanthin contributes to the higher profitability. Of course, you can see from the charts in the previous slides. So let's move on. So actually, I do have a lot of data from this, only the research, but I cannot put it here. So from the same collected data, there will be another color analysis, and then the meat quality, and also the nutrition of the shrimp, like the antioxidant property. So how the antioxidant property that we are raised from the shrimp impacting to the human health. And again, this is part of my PhD dissertation. The next move after this, we are going, not going, we already finished the research at the Kansas University lab, and we want to be able to know what is the best application for the feed additive, because we also trying to get the better shelf life and many things to comes from this one set of research. So in this opportunity, I would like to thank you for Delos, the one that support me for this research, and also for CP Prima, the one that support me with the baby shrimp and from the feed. And yes, now is the time for Q&A. Anybody have any question for me and for my shrimp?